Alright, welcome back to F1 2018. So, the first thing we have to do is we have to do contract negotiations. I believe this is our third contract negotiation. Realistically at this point, I should be getting a lot. So let's see what we got going on here. So let's start the contract.
It's time for us to renegotiate your contract. Here you can see the current deal. Once negotiations begin, the team will make you an offer. You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms.
I agree wholeheartedly to push for better terms. Let's go for medium. Pit stop efficiency. I would love level 2 pit stop efficiency. That's good. That's good. Can I get level 2 here as well? Let's see how off that is.
Our proposal has been accepted.
Alright.
The contract will take effect from the next race weekend.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Could I probably have gotten something better? Sure, but I will definitely take that. Alright, so now we gotta look at some R&D.
What do you think of this one?
I think that's great. That'll be our first powertrain upgrade in a long time. So we'll do that. Any other recommended upgrades? Doesn't look like it.
We've received invitations to new historic events. You'll be able to choose whether or not to participate before the end of this weekend.
I honestly don't care. So we're just gonna skip. Yes, let's fit the new gearbox, please. I honestly don't care about the invitational events, so let's just move on. We're going to Belgium this week. Oh dear. I am slightly familiar with this track, which is better than previous couple weeks, but still.
I know we were expecting some new developments this weekend, but some of them have failed quality control. Make sure you indicate what you'd like redeveloped via the workstation.
Carl, this is becoming a trend here. Did we get any parts? Okay, we did get some, but one of them failed, so now I gotta put some money into that one.
I recommend we could go for something like this.
Yeah. That's a pretty big upgrade, too, so that'd be nice to have done. Well, no, that's actually a rather small upgrade. So yeah, we got that going on for next week, hopefully. And then the powertrain will be ready by Singapore. When is Singapore? 3 weeks, so... Well, 2 weeks. So next week we'll have that upgrade, hopefully, with the redo, and then Singapore will have the engine upgrade, which honestly we don't need engine upgrades, but can't complain. Okay, so this, did I not say go to the next gearbox? Pretty sure I said we could go to the next gearbox. And honestly, this one too. What is our power unit like? I remember we were struggling with one of the parts last time. But I'm not sure what it was, or we may have changed it. So, alright, that's good. Let's head off to FP1.
Interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves of the top three, who are Ricciardo, Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. Practice times are on the board then, but no points are on offer just yet. We'll be back with more F1 action soon.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough race. There's long straightaways, so I was trying to go with the low downforce setup, but there are some really fast turns on this track, and I just lost it multiple times, completely wrecked the car. But I did pass both of the practice programs, so hopefully we can have a good week regardless. But let's move on to FP2.
As all the cars are now over the line, your top three again are Vettel, the Professor, and Nico Hülkenberg. That concludes an interesting practice session. Let's hope for more excitement as the weekend unfolds.
Well, I'm starting to get a little bit of a handle for the track. I mean, I don't really think second is a good sign of where we are, because not everybody did a qualifying sim of the better people. But the fact that we are ahead of Hülkenberg, Magnussen, and Sainz, who all look like they did a qualifying sim, is reassuring. I mean, we are within a second of Vettel, which is good, but I don't know where we're going to be. We got some engine issues that we might have to keep an eye on, but yeah, let's head off to FP3.
Quick look at the classification at the end of the session then. Here are your top three: Raikkonen, Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas. Thank you for joining us for free practice today. We'll be back with more Formula One action very shortly.
So, 7th is about what I expect, realistically. I have a gut feeling that Hulkenberg and Magnussen did a qualifying sim, but not sure. But I do expect everybody else up there to be faster than me, including Hamilton. Vettel has just had a rough couple of weeks, hasn't he? He started in the back last week, too. But let's head off to Q1. Alright, so we were 4th, Esteban was 5th in that session. We were both ahead of Bottas and Vettel. Bottas was on softs, and so was Verstappen, so realistically expecting at least those two to go ahead of me. The fact that Vettel was behind me was actually rather surprising. And really the fact that I'm that close to Hamilton, Ricciardo, and Raikkonen in time is also rather impressive. So this might be a better race than I was previously anticipating. But let's head off to Q2 first. Alright, so we had a bit of an interesting session there. Some rain started bleeding into the forecast, so we had to get on it right away. And both me and Esteban put down some great laps. Doesn't look like anybody too notable was trapped by the rain, even though we do have both of the Renault boys there. But this might be the first time we've had both Force Indias in Q3, so that's good for us. Definitely. Ricciardo barely made it in. That would have been notable if he had not made it in. But yeah, rain for Q3, I think, is probably going to be a given. So we might not start as high as we were hoping. But let's go and find out.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three: Hamilton, Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
I was a little bit worried about the rain, but honestly this is probably about where we would have qualified regardless. Right in between the Red Bull guys. Esteban, not a great session, but that's to be expected with our strong suit being engine, and the rain kind of takes that away. But the first half of the race looks like it'll be dry, so hopefully we can take advantage of that before we do have to start thinking about intermediates and wets. But hopefully we can take advantage of that, get a few positions on the start. But let's head off to the race. Alright, turn my webcam off.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's got to be a relief to qualify that far up the grid.
It's always a relief to see your hard work pay off, yep.
The weather hasn't been ideal in qualifying. What's your take on it?
We'll do that.
Appreciate your time.
Personally, my in-life response would be the other direction, but we'll stick with the sportsmanship for...
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. So here we are once again at Spa-Francorchamps, with 19 corners, 9 to the right and 10 to the left, and a lap distance of 4.35 miles. An average lap speed in the dry here is around 145 miles per hour. It's a very quick circuit indeed. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Force India. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
We're We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, the Professor, Daniel Ricciardo, and Magnussen. Vettel, Bottas, Grosjean, and Esteban Ocon. Sainz, Alonso, Nico Hülkenberg, and Leclerc. Hartley, Ericsson, Stoffel Van Dorn, and Pierre Gasly. Sirotkin and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright, not a bad start, not a bad start. Go to Rich, please. Really gotta take advantage of this dry conditions. Really gotta take advantage of the dry. I know we're good in the dry. We might even be good enough to win this race if the rain was not a factor, but unfortunately it is, so as I mess up those corners, let's try that again. Oh well, that was better than last time at least. Car feels exceptionally tight, a lot tighter than it was before. Jeez, where am I going? Well, this has been a mess of a start right here. Just a couple laps of rain really threw my game off here.
We're through the start phase. Now let's build on it.
Hopefully I should be able to pull away from the Red Bull guys, especially on the straightaway, so that'll help for sure. He says as they start catching me. Oh, this is going to be an interesting race. I don't think I'm going to do as well as I was hoping, unless we really nail the strategy. But I'm not going to be nearly as aggressive as I was last week on the strategy, because that show fricked me over. I love how I said I was going to be fast on the straightaways, and that seems to be where Ricciardo's gaining the most time, so, oh well. We have caught to the leaders, though, a bit, and they are fighting between themselves, so we might have a shot at maybe mixing it up with them before the rain ruins everything. Weather report.
The rain is a few laps out yet, but it is coming. Be careful. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Okay, a few laps out still. So probably halfway I would have to predict is when we're going to end up going on. intermediates. That's just my prediction, at least. Oh, here I am, everyone. Nice to see you all. Man, I gotta run in on that corner.
The energy store is getting worn, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
Alright, let's try that again. Don't really want to wreck Lewis Hamilton. I'll take a little more brakes under there. We'll go back down to standard. I do want to go underneath for stopping, though. Unfortunately for us, DRS has been enabled, but actually we got it. Wasn't expecting to get it. Are we really that close to... Oh, wow, you guys are fast. Was not expecting that. I'd safely say I was not expecting that. We all had DRS and they just blew on past me. It's that setup that I think is really hurting me right now. But I mean, it will help in the rain. Okay, yep, just run right into me. Yeah, I'm not taking that. I can't afford to take damage at this point. Alright, yes, let's continue to be side by side for the remainder of this race. Because that sounds like a great idea.
Don't forget, box this lap.
Box this lap? Not a chance in the world I'm boxing this lap. Weather report. Weather report.
Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Not helpful. I would love to stay out until it starts raining. That would be a great strategy call.
The energy store is getting worn, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
This is going to be a risky move, but I'm going to stay out until it starts raining. Our tires are going to be really worn, I know that, but I'm going to stay out for as long as possible until it starts raining. Weather report. Weather report.
We've got a 15-minute spout of light rain, which will then move into heavy rain conditions. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Okay, it is starting to rain just as I asked for that weather report. So I'm going to stick it out here for a minute until the track gets wet. So if I can...
Be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
The minute I do so, Verstappen gets a huge run on me. Great.
Okay, we've lost the position. That's us down a place.
Thanks. Wasn't obvious before, it is now. Again, not pitting. Staying out
Virtual
until...
safety car, virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta.
That ruins everything, pretty much.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
That ruins a lot of things, honestly, because now all of their pit stops are going to be a lot shorter. Well, it's hard to explain. It's just a bad thing, okay? What even happened, by the way? At least it is only a virtual safety car, so it's not the end of the world.
Still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment. VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Alright. Didn't really gain any time, but we didn't lose any either. And at this point, I'm just sticking it out for the long haul on these tires. Which is a risky call, I know, but at this point, if we're going to make any progress in the standings, I need to win. Just the question is, do Hamilton and Ricciardo have a similar thought? Yep. You know, I said in practice this was going to be a bad corner to be side by side in, and boy was I right. Well, they didn't pit there either.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy. The gap to the leader is 3.0 seconds.
That's
Leading
right.
our teammate by 24.7 seconds.
Just noticing that they both started the race on softs. Oh. That would be why they're staying out longer.
Going off the sim data, we expect you're going to start feeling the effect of tyre wear around about now. Let us know if it gets too bad.
Weather report.
We'll see light rain transition into heavy within 15 minutes time. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
I'll stay out another lap. I'm just really hoping these guys come in at some point for...
I know these conditions are tough, but bear with it. I don't think the track is ready for intermediates yet.
I'm hoping these guys come in for super softs and then they end up making 2 stops as well. That's the big hope right now. Weather report.
Heavy rain arriving in under 10 minutes.
We're gonna let me go to intermediates.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
I don't know. I just don't know if it's time yet or not. I really thought it would be ready for intermediate sooner.
accumulating some wear on the MGUK. To manage this, we'll need to lower our ERS deployment mode. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
I just don't know at this point. Alright, I'm coming in. This is gonna be risky, I know. We're gonna be super slow at this point, but my hope is that everybody's gonna have to pit again.
Pit strategy complete. See these tires through to the end now. Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
Yeah, I know, I took a little bit of a hit going on the pit road. I just really hope they come in for intermediates at some point.
MFD for a new strategy option.
Keep current.
Got that confirmed.
They're not going to pit for inners, are they? They're not. That's very frustrating.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, keep on him. You might make a mistake.
Oh, this game. It's so hard to predict the strategy. It really is. Weather report. Weather report.
This rain isn't likely to go away soon. Heavy rain in 10 minutes' time. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Shut up, Jeff. I've got a massive gap to Ocon behind me, so the hope is I can at least hold him off for a bit. Oh, I'm mad at myself now. Really am. They're not.
Our gap to first place is 24.0 seconds.
They're not coming in for tires, I know it now. I just know it now, they're not going to come in for tires. So frustrating. Previous versions of the game, you really can't listen to Jeff because his range strategy is just so terrible that you gotta try to make your own range strategy. And now, when I make my own range strategy, it's probably even worse. It is raining a little harder now. I will say that much. So, we might have a shot at this still, because it is raining harder. But I still don't have any hope at this point. They're on pit road. Okay. At least the leaders who had to come in are on pit road. Now the question is whether they got intermediates or super softs is the question. I'm not going to pass any of them, of course.
Yellow flag. Gap to car in front is 16.9 seconds. Gap to teammate behind is 2.6 seconds.
Kimi Räikkönen's out.
Räikkönen, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Okay.
Okay, clear.
Well, that helps. They all came in for super softs. They didn't come in for rain tires. Oh, I'm so mad. It feels like rain tires should be good, but they're not. Esteban's probably going to pass me at this rate. I'm just so freaking slow in these corners.
Okay, car ahead is now running the super soft tire. That's the super soft on the car ahead.
I can't even see the car ahead.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
Great. Let's just run out of fuel to add insult to injury. Even if we get a massive downpour right now.
Soon. Heavy rain predicted in 5 minutes' time.
Well, that'd be great information if, you know, this race was 5 laps longer, but it's not, so. Esteban's gonna pass us before the end of this race. White flag is out, sponsored by the Sadness Mobile, which Aaron Fitch is currently on.
Heavy rain arriving within 5
I don't
minutes'
care, the race is ending, Jeff.
Final lap of the race.
Oh, this is frustrating. I mean, granted, this is a 6th place finish, which is great, but still, it's frustrating. Can I hold Esteban off to the end of this race? Realistically, probably not. Especially in that last set of corners where I'm just absolutely the slowest thing that mankind has ever seen.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline.
If only that had happened about 3 laps sooner, I might have had a shot. But I mean, it's still a 6th place finish, nothing to be too mad about, but it's frustrating.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
It's just really frustrating. I just cannot get rain strategy right.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory.
Red Bull ended up winning.
So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And now it's time to wind down and celebrate after that fantastic Grand Prix. Here they come, your top 3, out onto the podium. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Well, after a drive like that, it's got to be Max Verstappen, hasn't it? Very clean, very smooth. He can be really pleased with that one.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Well, Kimi Räikkönen sure had a bad day. I forgot he was leading the point standings. Also, the fact that Verstappen won, that's who I was battling with for 90% of this race, kind of infuriates me a bit. But, whatever. Let's head back to the menu. Hopefully Claire doesn't want to talk to us. Of course.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective. How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today?
It's probably about right.
That was an epic battle today. How do you think this will play out? You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
Well, it did feel heavy. I mean, that's not an inaccurate
Appreciate your
answer,
time.
considering it was raining. Oh, man. Not too bad. We got a lot of points to spend, so we'll probably end up doing so. Everybody but the top three were happy with that performance. Sportsmanship sure went up.
That's a great result. You did really well. I don't think we can have any complaints with that performance.
I disagree strongly, Jeff, but whatever you say. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this episode and this stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. And if you want to see more content from ATF Gaming, be sure to hit that red subscribe button and follow over on Twitch at ATF Gaming 19 so you can see the streams of this footage. And I will see you next time for more F1 2018. Bye.